much, you guys. Welcome back to Jammin with Jonnie. I have a really special guest today joining me on the pink couch. This is Ishmael. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I am so excited to be here.
I know, this is so great. I'm like, I want to jam with my homie. Now, it's been a couple years since we've hung out, I think.
Like more than a couple.
Right? Because of the pandemic. I haven't seen anybody in 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I don't even know how to be anymore. I don't even leave my house anymore. I still don't know how to do.
Well, you've been up in LA for a while.
I've been up in LA since 2020. I came up in the pandemic. I was like, if rent's gonna be low, it's now. I was like, let's go, and exactly. I did. I found a really cool place. I moved up here, but really taking the leap because of music. And I was like, I need to be where it's happening, where I can learn what I'm doing, and I love San Diego. Mm-hmm. I mean, the San Diego scene's not that bad. You're killing it down there, by the way, in San Diego.
I mean, I hope so.
You are, man. You're playing shows. Okay, Saquon is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. So, what's the band? Who are you playing with? What's going on?
So, our band is Santana Plati.
Yes.
We're a Carlos Santana tribute band.
Okay.
So we play all sorts of the classic Santana songs, some of the more obscure stuff, and then we also play some other Spanish rock like Lamento Boliviano and Negro Tomasa. We play Suavecito, which is my personal favorite. Every time that song comes on, it's
And you're shaking the hair. You're doing it. I
mean, if you were watching me last night live, I was definitely into it, especially to a double of tequila.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Stay 50 feet from Ishmael. No, I think
it's a rule, really.
It's a well, you're gonna beat him up. You're like, get off me! I'm trying to play. So how long have you been playing with them? You've been playing with them a couple years?
Well, since the beginning of 2016.
That's awesome. So how did you find them? How does one go and kind of find a band and join them?
I started working at Guitar Center in the beginning of 2016.
Yes.
And then everyone there is a musician. Everyone there gigs. Everyone there has all the employees, at least. They all have something to do with music. They're active. There's rarely ever an employee, whether it's sales or operations or anything, that doesn't have something to do with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Whether you're a DJ, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a live musician and going on tour. We got touring musicians. I have a friend named Juliana, and she's touring in Mexico all the time.
Awesome.
She lives in TJ, but she comes up to work, and then she has her own celebrity life down in Mexico.
Okay.
She's living it big, at least down there.
Well, I remember you used to give me some coupons back in the day. I was happy about your Guitar Center fucking job.
Oh yeah.
That shit was clutch. Even though I didn't use it because I didn't know how to play it, I still know how to play a lick. Honestly, man, I'm just now learning. I gotta hit you up with some of your guitar lessons.
Well, lessons are so open right now.
You're open right now. What else are you doing? Just guitar, piano? Or are you doing? What are you doing?
So my main instrument is vocals.
Okay.
Just a little educational background. I went to Cuyamaca College and got my music industry studies degree. But I majored in performance and vocals.
Yes.
So for 1 year, I stuffed choir and performance studies and vocals and piano and all this and stuffed it into a year because who fucking wants to sit in the class forever? I sleep all the time.
I know.
I can't. I have to be moving. That's how I stay awake. I went from I can carry a tune to oh shit, my voice is making something. And when I was on my second year, my voice teacher at the time, she recommended that I start helping fellow students. So that sort of started my tutoring, and
that's awesome.
And I've been at it since 2013, so it's been 10 years of teaching music.
Yes.
And I mean, especially during COVID, when everybody had time and everyone had the
online.
Yes, online lessons. first it was a little shaky because I had to figure out the latency issues, but as soon as it got started to get at a good level, I mean, I had 7-8 hours of lessons a day.
Oh wow!
And it was just going and going and going. And right now, the most popular site that I'm on, Wyzant, is I have logged in over 800 hours of music tutoring.
Wow!
You know, that site's meant for math and language arts or English or history.
Is it an online tutoring app or
yeah,
what is it?
It's a website. So you can use it. It's an app too, but the app is limited. The website is where you can like really create your profile and search for jobs or have jobs be recommended to you. Anybody that's looking for a tutor for any subject that you are qualified for.
I love that. Okay.
And that's the thing too. You have to qualify to be able for Wyzant to say, okay, you're able to teach this subject.
Right. You have to be like approved and like background lookup and everything.
So if it's like say you're a math teacher, you gotta solve some math problems depending on the subject.
Okay. And you gotta prove that you are in that field.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. Since inflation hit October of 2021, lessons just died.
Yeah.
And so I've had a lot of time to do more into film.
Yes.
And do more acting and producing and writing, and so that I've had more time to do that. But now I have my own in-home studio.
Yes.
And I mean the walls are surrounded by soundproofing. You know, I got the right management. I got every instrument that you need. You can record demos there.
Yes.
You can. Even actors can go there and do auditions. I've had voiceover. Yes. You know, like
tapes.
Like Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah.
Right. I brought on a bunch of actors for that, and a lot of them recorded their voiceover at my place.
I love that.
And that was before it was even built as a studio.
Yeah. That's the way to go, because I was going to a regular studio. I don't know if you've heard of Capricorn Studios.
Maybe.
Capricorn Studios, shout out. I love Capricorn Studios. They help me do my Endorphin song and my Fuck This Pain song, but it gets expensive.
Yeah, when you're paying for like real recordings, totally.
Dude, like I was like, I can't do it anymore. Like I need to find space at my house to just have a place. And now you see like everyone's doing that now. TikTok and Instagram, and everyone has like a corner in their house where they can film something or record something, or that's why I got this cool ass looper I can't wait to show you when we pick our word.
Oh, I know, I'm excited.
You're excited for it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm still learning it, but like this show is helping me learn it. And like for real, like
I mean, I've been wanting a loop machine for a long time. I just never got around to actually like, okay, let's get a loop machine and make the shit happen, because I need to build my everything, the studio, the instruments, all that stuff.
Yes. Well, it gets expensive. That's the thing. But I got this one, Amazon, because they let you pay like in payments.
Okay.
So I was like, check. So I just been like paying, you know what I mean? But able to do it now, and I want people to know that, like, hit up those payments and hit up the things like that on Zelle and Amazon and stuff like that. There's always some options for you to pay with payments or with a credit option as well. So kind of get you started now. But yeah, I think this at-home studio thing definitely is working. How do you kind of navigate filming and acting and singing and music and juggling and all? I mean, do people kind of say like, Ishmael, pick a lane? Like, do you hear that? Because I hear that all the time, and I'm like, I can't.
People are telling you to pick a lane?
Pick a lane. Yeah, well, because they're like, okay, so a lot of people that are doing a little bit better than me are like, look, you got to give 100% to something, get in the door with it, and then you can kind of branch off. And I'm like, that's really hard for me to do, because I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, I got a song, you know what I mean? I'm like writing the song, or I'll have a script, or I'll have it just doesn't, it flows out of me the way it flows out.
I would say that's true to a point, because I would say, at least in my experience, when you start something, see it to the end.
Yeah.
No matter how long it takes, even if you want to take a break, even if you're doing really well on your project, but you're so missing creating a song. You're just like, oh, I really need this time to myself, but as soon as I take my 3 hours off to try to do something, I'm still wondering about this thing over here.
Right.
You know, and I'm not done with it.
Yeah.
You know, and when people constantly stack all these projects, it becomes nothing but stress. And if you're working as a team, if your team is holding on to you, and you're the main person that's like really gluing the whole thing together, you got to stay there. You don't have a choice to leave, because then it becomes, well, is this real or is it not? Well, if it's not, then I'm out. And now your project starts to fall apart.
Yes.
And then it's unfinished, and now you have a reputation of not completing your project, which is not a good reputation to have.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can see things through, you gain that respect, you gain that momentum you need to. And sometimes you find like, oh, this moment in time right now, because of this project, is making me want to finish this project more.
No, definitely. And I know that you guys probably are dealing with that too.
Especially with a fetish for music too.
You know, I know that maybe you guys have some problems with that out there as well, like what Ishmael's saying, you know, finish the project. And I think that that's a thing. It can get so overwhelming when you have so many things, but for me, it's like, I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to start. It's like, you don't need to. And I try to tell people that, like, even with Jammin with Jonnie, I was like sitting there and I'm like, I want to get people together. Bing! Yeah.
Hashtag.
Bring your ass. No. But, you know, I was like, I have this concept. I want to do it. I don't know what to do. I've never done a podcast or TV show thing before. You know, there's so many things that I could get in my head about. But it was like, just start it. Have it be consistent. Be consistent with what I'm putting out. And like you said, if you have other people that are working on it, if you have an idea, like finish that idea and then move on to the next. And that's been hard for me. I got ADHD, man. I really do. I think I do. Because I'll be like, oh my God, yeah, woo! And then, over here. You know what I mean? Do you have problems with that? Like focusing?
If it comes to problems with focusing, it's from being too tired to focus. At least for me.
For you?
Because for me, I wake up at 5 in the morning, get to work at 6, work to 2:30, because I want that 2:30 through almost midnight time to actually get shit done. But sometimes, I mean, especially when you're working and it's not so enjoyable, and you're working really hard, and I do manual labor. I'm not sitting behind a desk.
Right.
And you know, sometimes it takes a lot out of you, and then by Friday, you know, you got this plan in your head. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna do this. And you get home, and you sit down, and all of a sudden you're like,
you're like, I can't.
You're like,
start.
You know what? Fuck it. or as you're driving back, you're like, I want beer. Yeah. You know what? I want weed. You know, I just want to chill. Yeah. What good show's on right now? You know, anything gets to that.
Are you in these walls? Like, are you watching me? Like, that's literally what I say every day. I'm like, well,
Yeah, that's the hard part. You know, because it's just, shit gets tiring. I mean, there's plenty of, I know there's plenty of people that, like, work really hard, and they come home, but their life is all about work, and sometimes you're stuck with, I mean, maybe stuck's not the word. But some people have responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, some people are parents. Some people have to run companies. Some, you know, and essentially, you made these choices to lead to these things in your life.
Right.
But if you're trying to make something of yourself, you have to stop some habits.
Yeah.
And you have to take yourself away from whatever it is you're doing that's distracting you.
Yeah.
Turn your TV off.
Yeah.
You know, don't listen to TV in the background while you're doing whatever.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Focus on what it is that you're doing and get yourself there. No one's gonna motivate you but you.
Right.
You know, there's so many. You know, at least on Instagram, Facebook, inspirational talkers and all this stuff, and they get all these views and everything. But how many of these people that are watching are taking these, and doing something with it.
Yeah.
How many people are saying, you know what? I don't have to just live my 8 hours and then do nothing with the other 6 hours other than sleep.
Yeah.
Do something.
I have to have a plan. I have to, I will literally put myself on my own calendar. I will be like, okay, like for Jammin with Jonnie, for instance, I'm like, okay, these dates I know I can film.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shoot these dates out, see who else might have availability on those days. And then once those days started filling up, it was kind of out of my hands, which was nice. Because I'm like, okay, I got to get it together. You know what I mean? Like I got Ishmael coming. I got different people, different artists that are coming. So I was talking to my mom about this too. It's like, put yourself on your own calendar. I know that sounds crazy, but once I kind of see it and I'm like, okay, I have blocked out time. People count on me. I got to be there. I got to do this. It really takes away the worry about the focus.
Right. I mean, that's when it comes down to you doing your own thing and you're putting yourself in your calendar for other people.
Yeah.
That's when it's like, all right, you can't disappoint.
Right.
You got to make sure that you're on it.
Right.
You got to make sure that these people arrive happy and leave happy.
Right.
The whole way through. Even if the project, like say this one, if it doesn't air, even if that happens, I still had a good experience. I still was able to. We were able to have it, and you still have the file. Maybe it doesn't happen in April, but maybe it'll happen a year from now.
Right.
And then, but a year from now, you have all that time to control it more, to edit it more, to make it as special as you want it to be. Yep. And then it pops out and it blows up.
Well, that's what I like to do. I like present me to set up future me. You know what I mean? It's like, and then it kind of just aligns in the way that it does. Because for me, it's like a snowball effect. Once I start working stuff and I dedicate my time and my effort into something, it's like something else will come. And then something else will come. And it's, it's kind of like this snowball effect of stuff. So I always tell people, just start. And make sure it's something that makes you happy. You know what I mean? Like, I love talking to people. I love jamming. So it's easy. I love it. You know what I mean? It's not something that I'm like, oh, God, I got to do this again. I'm excited. Like, once the people leave, I'm like, I want to do that again. Like, I wish I had somebody else to, do it with, And so that's how it's like, I'm like, okay. I like it,
Yeah. It's interesting when, unfortunately, sometimes you do things and things are successful, and you're going through it, and then it becomes a little stale.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, do I want to keep doing this shit?
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, the next day or a week later, like, something inspires you, like, yeah, I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
Like, you get acknowledgement from a stranger. You get acknowledgement from a friend you haven't seen in 5 years.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. All
of a sudden, it becomes like, okay, this means something to other people other than me.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what, to me, it really comes down to if you're able to get that acknowledgement, that respect, that, however it is that people are able to give you that positive note that you're doing things right, then you are.
Yeah.
As soon as you start doing things wrong, definitely people are going to let you know. It's a lot easier in the human condition to get to that negative spot and call out somebody for their bullshit.
Yeah.
But when somebody like really succeeds, it's like the grandest thing. Yeah. And it's awe-inspiring to see people do that, especially when you know them, you grew up with them for a certain amount of years, and you knew where they started.
Yeah, I think for me it changed when I started thinking of success differently. Like when I first started, I was like, I'm only going to be successful if I, get a Grammy and I'm doing all, and then it started to, in the beginning. And then it's like, I'm successful if I'm just doing it every day. If I'm doing something musical, I'm successful. But I think for me is once I push past the resistance, I'm successful. And that resistance is what we feel when we're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. I should not do it. Or whatever that resistance you hit is. They always say, like, once you get past that resistance and you start to just say, okay, that wasn't that bad, it's success in my mind. Because for me in the beginning, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what am I? Okay, I'm going to get a neon sign and get a couch, okay. But it's like, can I talk to people? Can I, and I could put myself in this hole and go into it. But it's like, I beat that resistance and I did it. And you're sitting here on the couch. So that right there to me is success. And looking at it like that just makes me want to keep succeeding. You know what I mean? And then I'm just going to keep succeeding until my success gets bigger and broader. And, I start looking at things differently, Yeah.
In the industry, the entertainment industry, whether you're doing music, acting, anything like that, a lot of people take success as that top tier A-lister.
Right.
This is the level of success you're trying to get. But that is like 0.00000 something percent of people.
Yes.
It's so rare.
It can be discouraging if that's your thing of success.
Right.
Because
exactly.
I'm not going to grab anytime soon. So that,
but then sometimes, you have friends that sneak into the Grammys, sneak into the Emmys, and you're like, that's success right there. The photo that they took with Leo DiCaprio, like right at the end, and he's like, he's like drunk face.
Yeah.
But you still got a photo with Leo DiCaprio. You're in the same party. People consider that success.
Yeah.
I think it's, you gotta consider success and security separate.
Yeah.
Because success in the entertainment industry is consistent working.
Yes.
Security is making sure that you can live
off of what you're doing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people, again, they have obligations, they have responsibilities, and that's their first job. And then sometimes they're really good at, let's say, acting, and they have mild success over here. It's not enough to live off of it, but it's enough to give them something, make a few $1,000s here, and then still have your main life over here, knowing that you have your home, you have your family, you have everything that you need.
Yeah.
And it's unless you screw up your own reputation doing something dumb on set, doing something dumb against somebody.
Yeah, which is easy nowadays.
It is. Right,
It's super easy to fuck that up. So.
I mean, it's super easy, but there's definitely things that you can do that are like extreme.
Yeah.
To the point where you're like,
better.
oh,
no better. Okay, don't be acting
blacklisted.
crazy. Don't be getting crazy out there.
There's
Mind
a few
your
San
P's,
Diego
mind your
names,
Q's.
that have reached that level. It's unfortunate for them, but they created that on their own.
Right. No, I mean, I think it's and that's the thing. It's etiquette, And I tell people all the time, like the industry, music, it's a people business. Okay, it's networking. It's people. Like I said, we haven't talked or hung out but we have such a good impression on each other at the time. It's like I'll always be your friend. You know what I mean? Like I know that if I'm doing anything, I'd be like, Ishmael, dude, let's go. You know what I mean? It'd be one of those things. It's like we make relationships with people.
Ride or die, bitch.
Ride or die, exactly. It's like but it's kind of, you got to think about it like that. You have to want to be a people person. You have to want to deal with people and work with people and think about people's best interests, other than your own. And a lot of that is teamwork, entertainment, and business.
Even if you're not a team, even if you're not a people person, at least be a team player.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you got to work on these skills because these skills are really what it is. These skills matter more sometimes than your talent. And that's straight up. Like most times, if you could be the greatest person in the world and you're horrible to deal with. No one likes your attitude, you know what I mean? Like, you treat everyone like shit, I'm not going to work with you. I don't care how great you are. And I hear that so many times. So I really think that people need to know, like, this is a people business. You have to want to work with people. And I love people. I think that I've always kind of loved people, you know what I mean? I want to talk a little bit about songwriting. So would you consider yourself, like, a songwriter? Is it, like, a big thing for you? Or
I would consider myself a songwriter.
Yeah.
However, I haven't had the capacity to sit down and write.
Yeah.
And usually my process is I hear a song and then I become inspired by something in the song, and I'll just loop it. I'll listen to it in my headphones and I just start writing, and I start creating lyrics, and then as I'm singing, I turn the song off and then I start singing it to myself, and I'm alone. It's only my own thoughts. I don't know who else is gonna like it.
Right.
But then sometimes I will like it, and then I'm thinking, there's something to it. Let me go to the piano. Let me
Okay,
figure out like, okay, where's the note start? What's called
Yeah.
the tonic note. What's your bottom? What's your home base? You know, figure out that note, and then just build off of it.
Right.
You know, in music, everything is built off of the major scale.
Right.
And if you know your major scale, you can figure out your progression. You can figure out your chords. You can figure out your story, because every note has a specific part to play
Yeah.
to carry that story.
Yeah, and a feeling and everything attached to it.
Everything.
Yeah.
And when you're learning music and let's say you're composing and you're writing music on staff paper, you know, and it always comes back down to your scale.
Yeah.
That major scale is the number one thing. If you can really just like understand that,
Yeah.
at least for me, songwriting can become easy.
Yeah.
And if it comes to jamming, if it comes to improvising,
Right.
if your fellow musicians are on that same level of just understanding where things are placed,
Yeah.
and as you're playing, you're starting to feel, okay, this note is here, and then about right here, we're going to change. Okay, change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the same page. All right, so let's keep going. And then we're going to change again. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
kind of instinctual.
Exactly.
And that's why it's so different for, I think, everybody, because everybody has different instincts on things.
A lot of people think that music is a gift.
Right.
I am a firm believer that music is not a gift, it's a skill. And if you're talking about gifted talent, people that you're listening to that just have this really awesome voice, can like go really fast on the drums, can just shred and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Most 99.9% of those people develop the skill.
Right. They practiced.
They
They sat
practiced.
down. They did the work.
Did the work to
Yeah.
get to that point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very, very rare to meet someone who is born with the skill.
Yeah.
I know of only 2 people with perfect pitch.
Yeah.
And that's something you are born with. And if you're born with perfect pitch and you're listening to something that is out of pitch,
Yeah.
it's the worst thing you can ever hear. It's for them it's a curse because they have to have their music perfect.
Right.
They have to have their
Right.
sound perfect.
Well, perfectionism is a thing too. Like,
right.
I haven't put stuff out because of perfectionism. Like, and I just see people that are just posting and doing whatever they want, you know, and then people are like, oh my gosh, you're a natural. I'm like, I'm a natural. Were you there in the practicing? Were you there in the moments of horribleness? You know what I mean? So it is interesting how we put this kind of stereotypical thing on gifts and natural abilities. I think yes, because like for me, I had to I started to get into I can't read for shit music. I went to school. I was going to Musicians Institute last semester because I was doing songwriting. I wanted to learn music theory.
Out here, right?
Out here.
Yeah.
Out in Hollywood. And I mean, it was just like, whoa, this is a whole new game. This is a whole new game. And it kind of... It was
overwhelming.
It got too overwhelming for me because I'm like, wow, I do things by ear. I do things like I'll listen to it and I'll play it. Like I might not have my hands right on the guitar, but dang it, I'll strum that guitar and make it sound good. If I'm worried so much about where my hands go, I forget that I can just hear it and play it and just love it because that's what I want to do. But I'll be like, no, but my hands aren't right. So now I'm worried about musician shame, right? Because there's musicians out there like, you're not a real musician because you haven't practiced since you were 12. And I'm like, dude, I didn't have a life that allowed me to practice since I was 12. You know, my parents didn't give me a guitar at 10. Yeah, I wish they did, you know. But I think that it's kind of a developed skill. And so people that can read and do all that, like you, I feel like you're super knowledgeable in music. Like super...
I would say to a point, but...
Well, it's
more than most people that I know, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that it's important because that's what I'm lacking. I feel like me kind of getting to this thing, it's like I can hear it, I figure it out, but I don't know, formatting was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize, like, there's literally a way to write a song. There's like 4 predominant ways, and that's it. Most songs we hear today are in those 4, formats, and it's like, what?
I wish I had a little keyboard to just like show that.
Shit. I mean, I got a keyboard, but it ain't very good. But let's see. No, actually, I had a girl from school, and she was like, "Girl, this thing old as hell." I was like, "Well."
There was a.
Look at this.
Is that Yamaha? Oh, Elise's. Oh, Elise's. Okay. Ooh.
You can do like different
Let's see.
sounds and stuff, like.
Oh. Let's see. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Right? When you're playing your chord, you're playing your 1, your 3, and your 5.
Yes.
If you're trying to create a pop song, a jingle, something that's gonna be catchy, something that's gonna be really easy for everybody to just say like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm instantly into it.
Yep.
Go from your 1 to your 4 to your 5, and then back down.
Yeah, then back down.
I mean, that's how you create your jingles.
Yeah.
That took less than 10 seconds.
Right.
And that technically right there, because I started and ended right on the tonic,
Yeah.
hit my dominant, hit my subdominant, and I hit that tonic again, led me right back to the end of the song.
I love it.
So this is how easy it can be
Right.
when you're writing a song.
Yes.
If you understand your scale, if you understand your chords. So yes, all of that technical stuff, that theory has something to do with it.
Yes.
However, what you were just talking about, I used to be one of those sticklers.
Mhm.
When I was in college, I was learning and I was just theory,
Yeah.
just getting thrown right at me. And second year of
Okay.
music theory,
Yep.
I got the highest grade in the class.
Yes.
I got the highest grade at like 90.3%. And I was the curve for the rest of the class. There's no way that I should be like that.
Because people get it. Like, it's a right brain, left brain thing too, I think, like, honestly. Because music is such a love for me, but once I go into my other side of my brain that's like, all right, where are things supposed to go? How are things supposed to be? And I'm like, and then I get like, it's like, it was really hard for me. And then I think some people are like really good with music theory, but can't really ad-lib very much. They're like, they know so much, they're on it, they're with it, that they forgot how to just have fun with it, how to just, you know what I mean? Just come out of nowhere with it.
Yes.
And I think I just come out of nowhere with it. It's really hard for me to like get down deep into it.
Yeah, all the what I was saying, bringing it back to the point of that was, I was such a stickler. I mean, even with that, not being in the best mindset and being high during class and all that dumb shit. I was still, I would be jamming with my friends, or we'd be playing music, and one of my friends especially, he's just, him and I mean, our chemistry musically is just like, I don't see myself in the future with original music playing with any other guitar player. This is how, how much we're like, gelled.
Oh, that's so rare.
And even I had a little bit of like, play this to this to this to this, or this note should be this way, and all that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I was at Guitar Center that once all that theory started to die down, and all I had to do was understand it. I learned, especially after teaching.
Yeah.
Because every student is different. There is no one musician that is like another musician.
Exactly.
And I learned that once you understand all your rules, you can break them.
You can play with the rules. Yeah.
You can break them.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as you have an understanding.
Right.
you can do whatever you want. The first rule of music is all rules are meant to be broken.
Right.
That
right.
At least for me, you can take every single rule. If you know what that rule is,
right, you can bend it.
You can loophole it.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, and sometimes even a mistake turns out musical.
Right.
You know, it's a happy accident.
Right.
There's so many things that when you hear stories about certain songs, sometimes somebody hits a wrong note and then they go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. And then you go, oh shit, that sounds way better than what I did 5 minutes ago.
Okay,
You know?
well, I hope that that's the case because we're about to pick a word and I hope that we're like, oh shit, this is the best song I've ever written. All right, so we have our magical music box here. And this is going to be the word. All right. And I'll let you pick the word that we're going to do. This is like the scariest part. People are like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't even know what's in there. So, okay. What does it say?
Want a pink. Beautiful lie.
Ooh, beautiful lie. Okay, so you guys heard it here first. Beautiful lie is going to be our phrase for our jam session. So we'll see you right after the break. All right, so we got beautiful lie. We're trying to figure it out right now. But this is the whole point of jamming with Jonnie. So the whole point of picking a word or a phrase out of the box is just to encourage this kind of environment of just jamming, and we don't have to have a purpose or a plan or know what we're gonna do yet.
This is a foot tambourine.
Yes.
You put it on your shoe and you.
Oh, I need that because I need something like that because.
Foot tambourine.
Yes.
And then there's two different shakers, lighter, heavier, and then heaviest. I have these. These are clubs.
Oh yeah. I love these. Stop. That looks like binoculars.
You got your clubs, and then this is a special tambourine. So you can measure how much the jingles jingle with this. With the little white tabs here, you can have different levels. So I usually go smallest on the ends, medium here, and then I let the middle ones ride.
Yeah, okay. I'm into it.
And then this guy. So depending on the stick that you use, one of them is thicker than the other. So this one.
Yeah.
And then you have your lower sound.
Okay.
So when you're playing.
Hey. Oh yeah, we should. Yeah. I'm like, where's my mic? My mic's everywhere. I don't know what's happening. Okay. All right. Do we have like does anything come to you like with the melody for Beautiful Lie?
Beautiful Lie. You know, yesterday I practiced for about 5 minutes, and it took me about 10 seconds to come up with this little bass line.
Okay.
Let me see if I remember it.
Ooh.
Let me no.
I like that. Let's see.
Was that it? Yeah, that was it. Okay.
a jam.
Ooh.
I know you got beautiful eyes
and beautiful eyes. And look at you with a light. I see you with the sky. Oh my.
Ooh, okay. I see it.
Beautiful eyes. Beautiful eyes.
Yes. Ooh, tell me beautiful lies.
When I saw you walking up to my room, and I noticed that you ain't so cool. Something's wrong, and I see, and you've been too long for me.
Beautiful lies. Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies. Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies. Beautiful lies.
Beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful.
Beautiful lies.
When I look into your eyes and I see all those beautiful eyes.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful eyes.
Ooh, you got beautiful eyes. And tell me beautiful lies. Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies. Beautiful lies. Hey. Come on.
Beautiful lies.
How do you feel about that?
I
Isn't
feel
it
like-
fun?
Oh man,
That's
you could just
fun,
sit here
right?
for fucking hours
I
and just
know,
jam
dude.
up that shit. Hours.
Oh my gosh. So thank you guys. That was so much fun. Okay, so now we're here. Thank you, Ishmael.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I forget that we have actual mics on, so I don't even need this mic to say hi. But thank you guys. Ishmael just joined me on the pink couch. Your handle is on Instagram.
Ishmael A. Meza with underscores between the words.
No worries.
The names.
I'll put it down in the link as well so you can have it. Everybody have a great week and thanks for joining us with Jamming with Jonnie.
Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you.